All right, so I'm already starting off on the wrong foot here. As I came into my garage to do the Way of the Warrior review, I went to mount. I keep these tanks. I play these tanks as snipers, very much like tank destroyers, and I use a binox and a camo net on the Chinuk Kai, and gosh dang it, if I didn't just buy an extra camo net and binoculars for 600,000 credits that I was saving up towards the Tiger. Oh, there goes like 2 weeks of playing. Oh, well, what are you going to do? I wish there was an undo button like, oh, wait, no, it's not what I meant to do. As I put the camo net on, I heard the coin exchange. I'm like, wait a minute, that's the wrong sound. Oh, well, you can always use more camo nets. I definitely have enough tanks to spread them out. So, but they're demountable. For those of you that didn't know, both the binoculars and the camo net are demountable, and you don't have to pay gold to demount them. So if you're kind of new to this and you're watching, the toolbox, the binox, and the camo net all can come off without using any gold. Oh, crapsicles. Okay, so tonight we're going to look at the 3 Japanese tanks that I have, and mostly do a review of the Chinuk Kai, though I've already done a review pretty recently, but I feel like I haven't done a live review in a long time, so I want to give you something new and kind of fresh here. So we're going to look at, my phone. We're going to look at my phone. Okay, so back to the review. So the Chinuk Kai is going on sale this weekend. I believe it's going to be half off. Let me double check that, though, here. So the answer is a resounding yes. It is going to be 50% off, making it 750 gold, which is approximately $4, I think, or $5. I don't know. It's pretty cheap. So is this tank worthwhile? If I had to pick from the many Tier 5 premium tanks that are available, I would say no, it's definitely not the best of them, but it's not bad. And it's one of those tanks where you really, really have to play it like a tank destroyer. It has no armor to speak of. The front of the turret has, I think, 75. So, Tier 4 tanks are going to have a bit of a problem getting through this section. But in general, you're just going to get ripped to shreds. So you really need to stay back. You need to stay hidden. You're going to play this tank like a sniper. And unfortunately, for a tank with such light armor, it's very slow. So it's not much of a mover either. Definitely a challenging tank to play. Doesn't mean I don't like it. It's got a decent gun and a decent amount of penetration, and it also fires fairly quickly. So let's take a look at the stats. First of all, we have our top speed of 38.8, and that's not terrible. That's about the same speed as the M4, the Tier 5 M4. So really that's not like the end of the world, but it feels slow. And the turret traverse is only 30, and that's probably why it feels kind of sluggish. Your head turns slowly, so you're going to have to learn how to turn the body and the head at the same time if you need to whip the tank around. Also, the gun, and this is really the best part of the tank. It's got a 12 rate of fire of 12 rounds a minute, which means I think it's 3 seconds or 4 seconds, right around there, maybe 3.5 on the reload, with a pretty decent penetration at Tier 5 of 124. It's not great, but it's good. And average damage pretty low, 125. But for a medium tank with a sniper-esque gun, that's pretty much on par with the other tanks that are at this level. 2.3 second aiming time, that's very good. Semi-accurate at 0.37. Not great, but not terrible. The one thing that I'm going to warn you about with this on the Chi-Nu and on the Chinuk Kai, this gun tends to drop bullets. So you really have to aim high if a tank is at the distance. You got to aim a little bit higher than you normally would because the bullet is going to drop into the ground. And I do that all the time. I keep forgetting because I'm used to playing the other tanks, and the bullet just falls short all the time. So be aware that this is a dropper. 480 hit points. That's okay. But really just no armor to speak of. 50 front, 25 on the sides, 20 in the back. The turret is 75, 50, 50. So really anything above Tier 4 is going to penetrate right through you. Tier 3 tanks might bounce shots here and there, but you're very, very vulnerable as far as your armor is concerned. And that's par for the course with the Japanese tanks. Now, of course, like any premium tank, one of the nice things is that you can train your other tanks of the same... let me rephrase that. You can take your tankers from other tanks of the same class and put them into this tank. So here you have the Chi-2, and my Chi-2 tank has... its crew is right now, it's running the Chinuk-Kai. So, and there's no penalty for that. So I can take the Chi-2 crew and I can put them into my Chinuk-Kai and train them. And that's really the big benefit to this. Plus it earns 50% more experience as long as you check this Accelerate Crew Training, which you can right away. You can do that right away. And it also earns 50% more credits than a standard Tier 5 tank. So you can make a little bit of money with this tank, which we're going to need to now since I spent all my money and I've only got 14,000 credits left. So let's go ahead and run a battle with this guy, and then we'll take a look at the other two and go on through my thoughts. So, you know, this isn't a bad tank, but it's not my favorite tank. Let's go ahead and run it. Okay, so just so you're aware, this tank does not have preferential matchmaking, and as such, being a bottom tank in a Tier 7 match is a great possibility, and it sucks. But that's just how it is. The T-25 is the same, and the Ram 2 is the same, so... they felt that this tank could stand up. Its gun is good enough that it can compete at Tier 7, and so does the Chi-Nu, the regular tank. So if that Chi-Nu can do it, so can this one. I feel like it's a little slow for that, but to be honest with you, since you're going to play it like a tank destroyer, you need to kind of be slow anyway. So you want to be in the back. So let's see what happens here. I did get into the top 4 tanks. There are 2 Tier 6s on each team, but we'll see how it goes. So I've actually played 3 battles up to this point, and we won all 3 of them. I didn't do a whole lot, though, so I didn't keep them because in one of the battles I got one-shotted by an M4. In the next battle, I got one-shotted by our artillery. You can see where this goes. This tank has a terrible propensity to get one-shotted. Or two-shotted by pretty much anything out there. So I don't know that this is going to go well. I think too many of us went on this side, but maybe it's going to end up being a push. They got a bunch of heavies going that way, though we got a heavy this way too, so there's their Kai. If I can get down here. Hopefully he'll stay alive long enough to keep him lit. You can see how this gun wings things all over the place. It is not consistent. The rock. Oh, he almost made it. Now, I'm probably spotted at this point. Oh, they got the Lee. So I'm going to move back up here. Need to get into cover. I'm not happy where I'm at. You can see here, this is where the motor really sucks because it takes like 45 minutes just to move up a hill. Come on. And the gun depression ain't that great either, so you're dealing with a lot of factors here that make this a tough tank to play. It's not easy for sure. That guy's going to get killed. Hopefully our heavies and those guys will be able to hold those guys there. Good. Nice job, guys. I'm not worried about the Covenanter, but the VK. He's just going to tear me to shreds. And this is a bad spot. I need to get a little... Man, this is where being slow really hurts. When you get these open, exposed spots you're trying to push up. I'm exposed this whole way, and it sucks. It takes a long time to get anywhere. Oh, winged it right into the rock. Good job, guys. Nice shooting. At least we landed that one. Man. We overwhelmed him like a bunch of little flies. Okay, now this is where their team really dropped the ball. I think he's not there. This guy is for sure. Oh, winging it to the right again, so keep an eye on that. As you can see, the bullets like to go right. You know we're spotted. Yeah, that's a better game. Finally, we did a game where we did something. Bald guys suck. What's that all about? All right. Now, the AT2, he might be a problem, right? You would think, but actually, unless he's got his front to you, this tank actually does pretty well penetrating that dude. It's not bad. Now, I'm not liking the fact that our base is completely exposed. But I guess it doesn't matter because there's their T-28. He didn't go anywhere. Man, they had a lot of AFKs. That sucks. Wow. Easy game. Easy, easy. So how did we do? Well, 18,000 credits for really doing nothing. Yeah, I fell down the list by a long way. 426 experience. I did almost 800 damage. Didn't have a lot of targets to shoot at, though. It seemed like it really kind of went fast. And that's one of the things you're going to find in this tank. A lot of times you're so far behind everybody when you're trying to keep up that by the time you get there, they've already killed the tank. So it kind of, you know, it's like I said, a tank destroyer situation. It works best if you can get targets lit up a long way away, and then you can miss a whole bunch of shots because the gun pitches them right or pitches them into the ground. I've played this tank a decent amount. In fact, before we go on to the next tank, let's take a real quick look at the service record, and then we'll be done with this one. So I've got, well, I guess not. 32 games, flat out 50% win rate. I got the mastery badge. Yeah, 70% hit rate. That's not bad. Maximum destroyed per battle for. So in 32 battles, I've done 37 kills. It's not bad, you know. But it's not a great tank. It's not. It's not a bad tank either, but it's just it's okay. It's a good sniper, and you're not going to ever be in the front of the pack. I wish the same were true for the Chi-Nu. And I'm just going to do a quick blurb on this one. I don't really. We'll play one game in this, and you know, I'll do a full review of this later. But I don't like this tank. I really don't. Now I don't know that I have it all the way researched. Let's check it. Still need the best radio. Still need the best turret. So maybe that'll change. In fact, I don't really. Maybe we'll run one battle in this, but I don't really want to do a review per se yet until I have the best turret, because that can make a difference. And also having a better radio so you can see further. So let's go ahead and suit this guy up, and we'll get him out on the battlefield. Okay, so like the Chinuk Kai, I find the Chi-Nu to kind of be lacking in speed, and also it's not so good as far as armor. But, you know, here's a top-tier game. Let's see how we do. It's not a terrible tank. I haven't found the rhythm yet with it. And I don't have that many games in it either, so I can't really say for sure that it's horribly bad, but it's definitely soft. And it's not as fast-moving as, say, like on Tier 6, I would say, like the T-34-85 or any of the American medium tanks. It moves kind of like the Jumbo, but then has a fast-firing gun, but with no armor. So it's really a second-line tank for sure, and it's meant to be a pest. But the hard thing is, because it's slow, it's not very easy to flank with this. You can do it, but it's just not. It's odd. It's an odd tank. The gun is pretty good, actually. Once again, the gun with this tank is probably the best part of it. It's fast-firing, 3.4 seconds, does more damage in alpha than the Chi-Nu-Kai gun. So it's able to perform up to Tier 8. But it's kind of a stinky tank. I don't like it. I don't like it. I really don't like playing it. And it's going to be probably a long time before I grind through it, because I just don't have the motivation to stick with it. So I definitely don't want to be exposed here. Where's our heavies, man? Get up there, guys. All right. Poor BDR. So you can see my tank is just slightly faster than the KV-1. And this is where I'm probably going to get killed by artillery. You saw this gun, just like the other gun, wings things left and right. That's typical, I think, of all the Japanese guns. You're not going to ever be directly on center. It goes left and right if you don't wait all the time. Or wait till it's fully aimed, and even then, it still goes. Let's see, can I get hits on either of those guys? Poor Hellcat. Their artillery's got a good beat on us here. Come on, keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Here comes the artillery. Shoot, and I'm getting hit by Invisitank. Oh, now the KV-1. Everybody's shooting for the weak tank. If that KV-1S hits me, I'm done for. He's going to sit there till he reloads. Wow, I'm glad I moved. Thank you, VK. Or KV? VK. All right, so we need to get to the place where this is not happening. We need to get around that KV-1S. Dang it. Oh, where did he come from? I'm done for. That's it. It's over. Got the Churchill, and I've got this VK. Oh, no, and there's the Bishop. Wow. Did our VK let him get past? Thanks. RKV? Oh, man, come on. Come on, guys. You don't have time for this. Oh, my gosh. Thanks for the backup. Yeah, there's a typical Chi-2 battle. You know, I did a lot of damage. I mean, it wasn't bad for me, but our team fell apart. Anyway, thanks to the KV-1S for backing me up there and letting that KV-1S actually get all the way out and shoot me in the back. How did he do that? Good job. Good game. Not. So, the Chi-2 service record. Yeah, 20 games, 40% win rate. This tank, I actually have lower experience per battle than I do in the Chi-Nu-Kai. Oh, I just, you know, some people, this tank will suit. There's definitely people out there that play this tank and they do real well in it. And they're all happy and stuff and they love them. I'm not that person. I really feel very helpless in this tank. I try to do the best I can. And then things just kind of fall apart around me. And that seems to happen quite frequently with this tank. I know it's partly me, but you can't push with this tank. So I don't know what else I can do aside from kind of hang back and try to flank. And, you know, you saw there, I just totally got skunked. 8 tanks are around me. I actually lived much longer than I thought I would. Considering I got blasted in the rear by a KV-1S. He should have one-shotted me. He must have been using HE. I don't know how he didn't kill me, but anyway. All right, so the tank is back. Let's take a look at the results from the battle and move on to the next tank. 12,000 credits for non-premium tier 6. That's not too bad. 349 experience. Oh, I was the top scorer on the team. I did the most damage, too. It just goes to show what a bad team that was. You know, though the KV-1S, I mean, he did pull his weight. And if we compare, look, I mean, over on their side, they didn't do that much damage either. It's just our guys did less. They have these 3 that did something, and we have 4 that did nothing. So, and no offense to the poor BDR. He just got caught out in the open with his pants down. Yeah, marksman and sniper. I mean, how do I do better than that? I was the top tank, second top tank, and I came in first. Oh, And anyway, I'm done ranting about that one. So last but not least, yeah, here's my favorite tank in the line. And you'll notice, too, I've made it back up to 81,000 credits just from playing those couple battles. This tank is a gem. I'm sorry. If you missed this, and most people did, because most people go up on the tech tree. We'll take a look. Most people go up the Chi-Ni, Chi-Hi to the Chi-Nu. They skip the light tank line. The Ha-Go is a blast. The Kenny is pretty fun. It's got great gun depression. The Ki-Ho is just astoundingly good. I'm sorry. Go back and get this tank if you missed it, because this is a fun tank. It is not a scout. It's what you would call a light tank. So it's not fast, but it's very, very small. In fact, if we compare it to the Chi-Tu, it's little. And the Chi-Tu's not very big. Well, the Chi-Tu's kind of big, but it's not very big. Even compared to the Chinuk-Kai, there's really nothing to it. It's a very small tank. It's tier 4. I have gotten into tier 6 games and been the top scorer in a win. You know, usually if you're in a tier 4 tank and you're the top scorer in a tier 6 game, it's because your team lost. But I've actually won games in this tank and been the top scorer tier 6. Why is it so good? I think because it's so small. I think that really is what it is, because the gun's not that great. It has no armor, but it's little, and it just squeezes in those little spots, and people have a hard time hitting it because it's mobile. It's kind of mobile. It works for me. This tank, for whatever reason, it just works for me. So let's go ahead and take a look at the service record here, and then we'll look at the stats. So there's the Ki-Ho. I've got 70 games in it with a 63% win rate. It's one of my better tanks, for sure. It's way better. With an average experience at tier 4 of 587 per game. That's better than any of my other Japanese tanks. Maximum destroyed 5, so I do not have a top gun in this tank. But I've got 1,400 experience in a battle for it. 69 games, 88 tanks, enemy vehicles destroyed. 33,000 damage. You know what? This tank is just so much fun. If you missed it, man, you got it. And nobody drives them. You rarely see them. So I think a lot of people just pass this one by, and it's going to be in my garage forever. In fact, I probably will perma-paint it because I'm not getting rid of this tank ever. Ever. I love, love, love this little tank. We got a top speed of 50. It's not very fast for a light tank, but it's respectable. Quick traverse speed of 60. Slower turret traverse, but you can, wing the tank around doing the turn maneuver. 25 rate of fire, so you're basically firing a bullet about every 2 seconds. And your gun does, on tier 4, it's not great. 87 penetration. That's about the same as all of the tier 5 premium tanks. But you're on tier 4, so don't forget, you're a tier lower. 75 damage, so it's a really low damage rate. Terrible aim. 42% dispersion. Or 42.42 dispersion. But a quick gaming time at 2.3. So typical Japanese gun, not very accurate. But it punches through so many tanks, and because it's little, you can get around them and get on their flanks. And 85 is enough to go through almost all of the backs and sides of all of the tier 5 and tier 4 tanks. Tier 6, it's a little harder. But you can be a pest, and you're small, so you can keep in the ground and, fire on an enemy, draw his fire from the bigger tanks, and then, that guy misses you, and then he gets killed because he used a shot on you. Health, not a whole lot. You're pretty much two-shottable with 340 health. No armor. 30 on the front, 20, 16, and 16 and 12 on the backs. I'm sorry, that was the turret has 30 on the front, 20 and 16. The hull is 20 on the front, 16 on the sides, 12 on the backs. It's negligible. Any tier 2 tank can go through your armor. But, if you play it right, it's not going to be a problem. So let's go ahead and take this little booger for a ride. And I'm telling you what, man, hopefully it'll be a good battle. Almost always they are. So let's go ahead and go. So I hear the STA is a great tank, and that's probably where I'll head. But the Ki-Ho. If there's a shining star in the bottom 6 tiers, including the Chi-Nu-Kai, the premium, this is it. This tank is a gem. Now, this is a tier 3 and 2 battle, so we should be able to reign supreme here. But I don't know. This is not a great map for this tank because there's not a lot of sniping positions. I think, let's see what happens here, but got a Kenny going that way. I'm going to shoot that VK 2001 if he... Oh. I mean, the SU-85B, he is kind of asking for... Okay, nobody went River Road, so I guess that's where I'm going. No, I forgot. This is the Mac keyboard, so pressing the wrong keys. The good news is we're fast enough, but the downside is, man, I don't think we're going to win this one. They're lined up too strangely. This is not a good lineup. The way that they dispersed is very bad. So I guess what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to try to spot, because it looks like a lot of their guys went to the middle, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, this is not where this tank is going to shine. Going alone as the first tank down a line is not a good idea with this tank. It's definitely a second line tank. But I guess in this situation I kind of have to. Plus I'm in one of the top tanks, so... Oh boy, here we go. They're going to fold. Well, I'm going to... Look, their artillery's in the city. That was a weird maneuver. I'm just going to rush up then and see if I can get on cap. Because really, I don't think we have much hope aside from that. Yeah, maybe. Now we're starting to catch up again. Weird battle. Very weird indeed. Sometimes he who caps first caps hardest. Oh boy. Get away. Yep. Yep. He's got a fast fire rate too. I can't hit him while I'm moving though. Yep. It's over. He's gonna kill me. Okay, can I get around? Get around, get around, get around, get around, get around, get around, get around. Come, turn, turn, turn. Got him. Okay. This guy's AFK. It's good news for us. He's one of their bigger tanks. You can see this gun really is, once it starts hitting, it's pretty wicked. It's actually a pretty good gun. Somehow we missed their artillery. I'm not liking that. Oh yeah, drove right past him. We turned this into a victory. Look at that. Not me anyway. That wasn't my win, but in fact, I almost got killed by that SU-85. I got real lucky at the end there. Oh, come on, don't miss. Now, they still have some pretty big tanks out there, and I got a feeling that SU-85B is probably going to finish me off, so I'm actually not even going to... This is a really bad idea. Very bad. Oh, dang it. Man, it's going to be close. Come on out, buddy. Come on. Come on out, buddy. Come on. Oh, and I missed. Here it comes. Oh, don't miss. Come on. Idiots. Well, there goes the win. Could have done it, but I should have moved instead of sitting there. Well, it didn't matter. That guy was coming up too, so I blew it. That's my fault right there. Yeah, well, Ken Royal was a top scorer on our team, and I think he was a bot. So, yeah, man, that was me. That was all me. I lost that game. Yeah, the reason why we lost that game was because I didn't move when that guy started shooting at me. If I would have gotten to safety, I probably would have been able to take that LTP out even. But I don't know. I mean, hindsight's 2020. I don't know for a fact that would have happened, but oh, stinkers. That just sucked. Okay, well, that's it for tonight. But once again, if you missed this guy, and as you saw, even in a bad game, I had a great game. So it's a good little tank, and it was even pushed into a role that it's not supposed to be in. If I hadn't, that SU-85B or the SU-85 76, whatever it was, I think it was a 76. Was it a 76 or an 85? I'll take a look here. Yeah, 85B. Okay. Yeah, he tore me up pretty good. And he should. He's a better tank. That actually is a better tank than this is as far as the gun goes. And so, anyway. But, all right, hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and have a happy Way to the Warrior weekend. If you do decide to get the Chi-Nu-Kai, once again, it's not a bad tank. It's just not a great tank. But that's how premium tanks are. So, if you're going up the Japanese line, it's a good idea to have it to train your crews. And it's pretty cheap. So, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.